may remember last time I was sitting on my trusty bike, we were talking about dementia and exercise, and I quickly mentioned in that H.I.T, or high intensity short duration training, called H.I.T, high intensity training, and I said I'd make mention of it later on. So I thought I'd follow up with that and just tell you a little bit more about what high intensity training is. Now, I first had my exposure to the concept of high intensity training probably when I was a physiotherapy student, but it was kind of in its infancy then. I saw a couple of years ago a great BBC documentary by Dr. Michael Mosley, and I would recommend it if you want to learn more about the science behind this, follow that up with him. You can get it, Google it or YouTube it. It's called The Truth About Exercise, and it's an excellent kind of introduction to this concept. But what we're saying is that with exercise, all exercise is good, by the way. If you're moving, you're doing something good. You know, if you don't move it, you lose it, sort of concept. But you know, some exercise seems to be more productive than other exercise, and high intensity is that sort of exercise. What is it? It's when you do, say, 20 minutes, even 10 minutes of exercise, but you intersperse a moderate exercise level with a very high exercise level. You actually have a better training effect on your heart, lungs, circulation, and some interesting effects. Some research is showing that it actually affects the mitochondria in our cells, skin cells in particular, and actually can rejuvenate our skin. So that science is, you know, for you to have a look at. But what do you need to do? If you're a walker, if you're walking, what it means is that in your walk, you should have 30 seconds or a minute where you push it harder, you walk harder, walk at your highest pace. What you want to do is spike your heart rate up and then drop it down again to a comfortable level. So do your minutes high intensity work, then walk at your modest or moderate level again. Then 3, 4, 5 minutes later, bang, do your hard walk again, whack it up, drop it down. And this increasing heart rate, then dropping it down again, seems to have a much more powerful effect on our metabolism in a shorter period of time than doing long-term sort of aerobic exercise. Now, if you're a runner, you can do the same thing. If you're a jogger, then do something like pick a hill that might be on your journey and sprint up the hill. Really push your heart rate up. You might walk then down to the bottom of the hill, have a little 5-minute rest, then sprint up the hill again, then come down, rest, sprint up the hill again, come down, rest for 5 minutes. This spiking up of the heart rate and dropping it down again, really positive effect. Then you might have a warm down of a light jog home. If you're a cyclist, same deal. You might be cycling at a constant pace, but every now and again you do a sprint. You do a 100-metre sprint, or you might want to time it if you're in a position to do that, and you go hard for just a short period, then go back to your modest or even resting level of exercise. Each time you do this, it has this amazingly accelerated effect on your fitness. There's more research coming out now, and all of it's pretty positive, that this short duration but high intensity work actually has a much better effect much more quickly than our kind of average exercise level. So I encourage you, whatever exercise form you're into, whether it's swimming, whether it's cycling, running, walking, even doing weights, you can push a weight hard for 10 seconds or fit as many, chest pushes in that you can in a 30-second period, then rest. Your heart rate will bump up and the effects are really positive. So I hope that gives you a greater explanation of what high intensity training is, and I would like you to try and adopt it in whatever exercise you're comfortable doing. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. There is something, an exercise that suits you, and a high intensity component of that can really encourage you in your general fitness. Ciao for now.